Today we are learning King William's March by Jeremiah Clark. This is a Baroque piece in D major. It is in binary form, so it has an A section and a B section, and both the A section repeats and then the B section repeats. This is also alla breve, or cut time. So if you look at the time signature at the beginning, you'll see a C with a vertical line right through the top. That means 2/2. The half note gets the beat, and there are 2 beats per measure. It looks just like 4/4 time. It looks just like common time, but it tends to be a little faster and has a duple meter feeling to it. Well, it is a duple meter. Okay, this is polyphonic, which means that there is more than one melody being played at once. In this case, there's 2. The right hand has a melody and the left hand has a melody. Also, because this is from the Baroque period, we should play the quarter notes detached. There was no piano back in the Baroque period. This was most likely written for a harpsichord, which was a keyed instrument that plucked strings. And so we're going to be imitating that sound while we play. This piece overall, what makes it challenging is it requires excellent coordination between the hands. You're again playing 2 melodies at the same time. And there are a lot of repeated notes in the left hand at the beginning, but even so, you're going to be playing detached in one hand while holding notes in the other hand, and both hands are going to be shifting and moving around the keyboard a bit more than usual. So even though it doesn't look as notey as the pieces before it, this is a challenging piece for someone who hasn't had much experience in playing music that requires this much coordination. Okay, let's look at the A section. That's measures 1 through 8. Big focus should be on fingering. Your right hand is going to shift a lot, and you're going to want to single out those shifts. So let's take a look at that. You start with finger 3 on D, and go ahead, and when you start, make sure your finger 1 is already on A and your finger 5 is already on F sharp. So if you start with a D major second inversion chord with your fingerings in those notes, that will help prepare you for the beginning. So we have... And then we have a shift. Your finger 4 is going all the way to the A. So you just played 3 on D, and now your finger 4 has to shift to A. You might need to go back and forth between those 2 notes to make that more comfortable, so that when it comes to performing it, you can go from here to here easily. Or another way to smooth that out is to play and hold the first note with the correct finger, and then as quickly as possible fall to the next note, and then make sure your finger is in the correct position. You actually don't have to play the second note. It's more about getting your hand there in time and by keeping your forearm and everything relaxed, but your fingers firm. So either way. So now I'm going to start that again. And then we have another shift. Your finger 1 on D and then your finger 3 on F sharp. So that's another nice little jump there. So let's see. So there's 2 places that you should single out. There's the, 3 to 4, 3 on D, 4 to A, and then 3 on F sharp, and, finger 1 on D, finger 3 on F sharp. Finger 1 on D, finger 3 on F sharp. Going back and forth between those 2, or again, play and prepare. Okay. The left hand is a bit easier in the first half because you have a lot of repeated Ds, which I'm just going to fast forward now to the F sharp, G, A. And those are the only 4 notes in this first half. So make sure that your finger 4 is playing F sharp. And I'm noticing now that I'm just slightly out of the camera. Just barely though. Imagine my finger 4, my ring finger. I'll put it up here so you can see. There we go. The first time you play loud, when you repeat, you should play soft, and it says non-legato, not legato, so keep everything nice and detached. And then soft. Let's take a look at the second half. So back to the right hand, there's some crossovers in here. Like if you go straight to measure 10, you have 3 on E, 1 on D, 2 on C sharp, 3 on D. Practice that several times by itself so that feels nice and comfortable. You might even want to go to the next E with finger 4. But it's really important to get those little fingerings sorted out before putting hands together. You don't want to just dive right into a piece. You want to take it apart first and know what to anticipate and work out all the little trouble spots. Measure 13, we have another crossover. So 2, 3, 2, 1, finger 3 goes over to the F sharp. You have finger 2 on E. Finger 3 crosses over. Oops. Okay, let's see here. We have left hand, the last 2 measures have a crossover in the left hand too. So I'm going to just fast forward to the last 2 measures. I'm actually going to start on the last part of measure 14, so on the AG, the 8th notes there. So we have cross under. Okay, and there's a little stretch there too, so definitely plan out that fingering. So we have 1, 2, 3 on F sharp, then your thumb crosses under to E, then finger 2 plays D, 5 plays G. So a little bit of a stretch, just a little one, A, and then I just kind of bring my thumb back into D. Overall though, the left hand's much more challenging in the second half. You have a lot of open positions and closed positions going on. For example, measure 9, you have an octave, A to A, and then your hand closes into a 5-finger position, back to D. You can keep hitting finger 5, or if you're like me, you can switch to 3 because middle of the hand is easier for me. Then we jump up to another open position, D's, A, D, and then A, E, A, and then back to closed position. Okay, let's put it together. So this is Mezzo Forte. Measures 11 and 12 have a crescendo, so we're going to get louder, and then we're going to end forte. I'm only going to play through the B section once for the tutorial because it does not change on the repeat. The dynamics stay the same. And that's it for King William's March by Jeremiah Clarke. I hope you enjoy learning and practicing this piece, and as always, happy practicing.